Absolutely.
What
That's
is
right.
up, everybody? It is Dr. Vibe here. I'm host and producer of the award-winning Dr. Vibe show. I'm also president and CEO of Express Your Vibe Coaching Communications. You can also catch me at the Good Men Project. You can also catch me at WJMS Radio, but it ain't about me. Look at this. Stop that. No, I saw that. Yeah, I saw you, Claude. I saw you, Claude. And last week we had an epic conversation last Monday night, and organically out of that, I just thought to myself, with as many challenges that are going on in the world today, whether it's Nice, whether it's America, whether it's Baton Rouge, whether it's Cleveland, whether it's Canada, whether it's Brexit, I thought, let's get down to real basics here. And I want to have a conversation tonight on how are you going to help your community be better? And I'm basing this on the premise that I'm blessed that on many of my conversations, I get good people coming on who want to help. Now, I get my trolls every once in a while. You know, that's good too. But I just wanted to see from anybody, how could you and can you make your community better? And it doesn't have to be a big thing. Even just saying hi to somebody that you don't know, or saying hi you haven't heard from somebody in a long time, can make your community better. Now, that's one level. Then the next level is, if someone really wants to be committed, send me an email or send me a direct message. I'll put the information on a spreadsheet, but only access to those people who are committed in doing it. And we'll just not check each other up, but this is what we're putting out there, because where I come from, your word is your bond. And just want to see how many of us can do that. So I'm very blessed to have Claude Diamond, who's styling and profiling tonight. And as I always like to mention as possible, yeah, there you go. I can't do that, Claude. Sorry, that I lost. I lost that race, man. I can't do that. But Claude was the first person I actually communicated with and who reached out to me on Blab. So I'm always humbled to have him on. Claude, how you doing tonight?
Well, thank you, Doctor. You know, you always remember your first, don't you?
I'm going to let you take care of that with that shirt. Now, next up, I got C. Will Builder, who's a longtime friend through Blab. And how we doing tonight, C. Will?
I'm doing great. As always, you know, you host excellent conversations. And I think this is a major one to have. You know, how do you look at moving forward? What kind of solutions can we offer? And so I'm really looking to see what comes from the conversation. You know, the different ideas that everyone's able to share and empower each other with.
Excellent. And with Leroy McKenzie Jr., I have not seen him on one of my Blabs in a long time. I had him in a group of gentlemen on a long time ago on Blab, but it is so good to see. How you keeping?
I'm keeping good. I'm keeping well. Can't complain at all, not at all.
Good. And the rest of the gentlemen are doing good too?
Oh, yes, sir. They're doing absolutely well.
Well, do tell them I do say hello and hope all is keeping blessed and highly favored with them. Well, I know that's probably Claude and Leroy have not as much time as probably a C. Will does for this. So I'm going to get right to the point. Claude, how... yes, I know. Right. Okay. I feel you. Claude. All right. How
look like that till the hourglass runs out.
What is either a way that you are or you are committed to making your community better? And community, you don't even have to define your community. If you want to define it, you can. What thing or things, doesn't matter how big or small, could you do to make what's going on less stressful for the community?
You're either part of the problem or part of the solution. You have to make a decision. Okay, I live part of the year in Winter Park, Colorado, a little town, really nice town, no crime. I mean, this is a great place, but people have participate a lot here in making their community a good place, a safe place, a nice place to live. An example, my wife and I are members of the Lions Club. We flip and we're busy people, believe me. Okay, time is so valuable for us, but we believe in this cause. We want to give we want to raise money by flipping pancakes on the weekend or something. Or I volunteered at a jazz festival this weekend, okay? Saw the Isley Brothers. Yeah. And I raised a little money for the Lions Club. Lions Club is for kids who need eye surgery, people who need vets, who need seeing eye dogs because they were injured in the protecting our great country. And I love this organization. And so we both participate in it and raise money for all kinds of things. And we want to be part of the solution. We don't want to just sit back and bitch and moan all day long. And so that's maybe, I don't know if that was where you were going, but that's kind of what we do for our community.
No, that's exactly where I want you to go on this, because you're doing something right now and you're giving what you're doing and how it's benefiting, and that you are committed to doing it and you enjoy doing it. You make time for it. It's not an obligation. It's something you and your wife want to do, not that you have to do.
Let me give you a plus on that too. When you join an organization, you make new friends. You meet the most wonderful, influential people, good people, and from maybe just a selfish standpoint, to make new friends or to make business contacts. It's not a bad thing either on the practical side.
Excellent. Well, I know you've got the hourglass running, so you can jump off if you need to.
Do you know,
no problem.
Do you know where I got this? You know where I got this idea from? For
where?
3 minutes from my honeymoon.
I don't. Do I want to go any further?
I'm not.
I'm not.
I brought 2 of them.
Okay, on that point, I'm going to click you out. You got work to do. Thanks.
Be good,
thanks for being first. Thank you so much. Be well to you and your wife.
Take care.
Bye-bye. All right, so there is a great example of someone who is doing something to make their community better. Before we go any further, I want to just say hello to some other people here who jumped in. At Gel Cruz, thank you so much. Thank you, Michael D. Haynes. Thanks for stopping by. Thank you, Junior Garcia. I read your comment. I don't know exactly what you mean. So if you can come on and explain it better, that'd be great. At +_1_1. Thank you so much. Also, thank you, Dan Kohlenberg. Thank you so much. Thank you, Inside His Head. Thank you so much for coming by, young lady. We need to chat sometime, Miss Lee Ricketts. And also, big thank you also to Corey Smitty. Thank you so much. Just want to read a quick, my 2 cents would be to engage with other people, sharing how you feel, sometimes just identifying with what the hurt helps. Anyway, thanks for having this. It's a blessing for others. Thank you so much. Thanks for giving that commentary. And what I'm going to try and do a lot too is copy down the comments, give a little synopsis, and maybe put out a post on this after this. So if anyone wants to take a seat, no problem. There is a seat open. Our Mr. 3-minute timer jumped off quick. So Leroy, you're probably next with probably lack of time. What things can you do or would you like to do to make your community better?
No, I'm actually pretty good on time. So but here's the thing I think that we need to do, or I know that I am trying to do, is specifically beginning with changing the mindset of not just my community, but the community as a whole, us as a whole. And that's happened in a couple of different ways. One through, just through the books that I've written, but also with speaking engagements, talking with those who are part of the community. What are some viable solutions to the issues that are going on that are ailing our communities right now? And that's the one thing that I'm not hearing from anybody. We hear all of these conversation pieces and all of these talks. Well, we need to sit down and meet. Well, the time for meeting and talking is over with. There has to be a really an agenda, that a tangible progressive agenda that needs to be put in place. And I'm glad I happened to come on with you tonight, so that you seem to be addressing that tonight. that can be put into place, and not only will work in, let's say, my community, but we can start to work it like you just talked about. It can work in Baton Rouge, it can work in Dallas, it can work up in Canada, it can work in Nice, it can work in all these other places that seem to be having these troubles that are going on. So it all begins with the changing the mindset change, and dealing with the issues that we are, and not being afraid to talk about them, and coming with what is real, and not just this what I call cotton candy, cotton candy rhetoric that's out there, and nothing really gets done. So I think we have to, like I said, I have to, and what I try to do is, whether it's talking with the young men, whether it's talking with men in general, whether it's talking with women, whether it's with my church that I attend, trying to do things through there, through events that I'm a part of and that we have going on here, just trying to change that mindset, and that's where it all begins with to me, with the mindset, because the mindset has to change, or things will just continue to be the same.
Okay, and I appreciate what you're saying. So what right now are you doing? Are you going out and having conversations? I want to nail down exactly what you
yes, I actually am. I'm having not only conversations, but talking about solutions. What can we do? What are the action steps that need to go? Whether it's trying to get, and I'm in the process now of trying to get attorneys involved, trying to get government officials involved, trying to get educators involved, so that we can talk about those things that need to get done, that address the issues that that are ailing our communities.
Hey, now the only thing I'm going to say to that is, earlier you said, and correct me if I'm wrong, that the time talk is over. We got to get into action. Do we still need more talk before we move into those tangible actions? Or is there enough available right now, human resource capital, emotional capital, to start action now?
No, I believe that there is enough human capital, and like you just said, human capital to start action now. But the thing is getting those who are that human capital involved in the action planning, because you can't like I just mentioned, those different dynamics, whether it's attorneys, because they know the law, so they know those things that can be addressed as far as the law is concerned. Especially if you want to get into the issues that have been going on with the police, the gap between the police and the community, dealing with that. How can attorneys assist with that? With the educators, what can we do in the educational system that will be able to address those issues? We need those people that are within that industry to be able to give us, say, you know what, we need to know what it is that you can do, or what those of you who are a part of that industry need in order to be able to do with you. What resources do you need, or what actions can you do, to be able to change that dynamic within the educational system, or the educational industry.
Okay. See, Will, are you wanting to go in, or do you want Junior to come in ahead of you? Because I know you're going to be here for a while, because this one I think is going to be co-hosted between you and I. But are you want to jump in now, or?
Yeah, I wanted to jump in real quick, because I like to wanted to be involved in the conversation before I offer my suggestions. I think we have a lot of good ones, and I wanted to point out something that Claude said. Is that his community was very safe, had no crime, was a beautiful place, nice place to live. And then he also said almost everybody is involved in the community. They volunteer, they get involved, they do things, and those two things are not independent. I think really, look at the causation there, is that his community is involved and is very safe. And so I just wanted to point that out, is that, a lot of times you look at our communities and wonder what's wrong, but nobody wants to participate in anything, right? Nobody wants to go to a meeting. Nobody wants to join a group. He mentioned he was part of the Lions Club, I think he said, or one of those clubs that's actually participating in charity events and different things. So there's always something to do. But if the community has to be engaged, so I just wanted to point out that highlight that he put there, and also to come back to Leroy's comment, which you already did, which is that yes, we want to move past just to talking for no reason and talking nowhere, but we also know that it takes dialogue to make those action plans, which he did point out. He wants to get the people in the room, right, that can actually start to enacting some of these solutions, or like you said, get those human resources together that can actually start to design an action plan that actually makes sense. So it's a lot of times, because I said the same thing plenty of times before myself too. We got to stop all this talk, right? But it's not necessarily that we got to stop the talking. We just got to put some meat on it, right? Put some meat on it and get and have a focus towards solution and action that's behind this talking.
Okay, before we go further, I just want to shout out some more people at Sam_Teague. And of course, Kiana Rodriguez at Happy Work Week. Her and Kinte LA host an outstanding conversation on Friday evenings, usually around 9 p.m. Eastern time. Please check it out. Next up, we have Junior Garcia. What is up, my man? How you doing?
Man, everything blessed, Dr. Vibe. What's going on? What's going on? Big up to everybody.
Everything.
You don't know. Doc, man, last time I've been on, and a lot of times when I come on to you, about 80% of the time, what you do is you have a call for action. And that's why I say you gave homework. You know what I'm saying? So I said the doctor gave homework and now it's time to turn it in. Because a lot of times you have a call for action and you say, okay, look, even if it's for me individually or for someone individually, you always say, all right, do this and come back and let me know how it goes. You know what I'm saying? I could go to my books and tell you every homework that you gave me because I did them all. Matter of fact, one of them was finding out what you're doing, what your game plan is and where you're going. I remember that homework. But I remember I was doing some research and I was trying to figure out, well, what could lower the crime rate? Things are really bad. What can help lower the crime rate? And then somebody said, well, consequences help lower the crime rate. And I said, consequences, that's a good point. And then doing the research, I've been in Saudi Arabia and seen Chop Chop Square, where you do something and you steal something, they chop your hand off. And I seen it with my own eyes and it's real deal. So then I started to say, you know what, it's probably not the consequences, And then I started looking at other countries in Africa, and they didn't have much consequences. But what it was that they had high employment. And when I say employment, it's not employment to where, I have a job, I have a 9-to-5. It's employment to where, listen, if you don't pick this, if you don't farm this particular crop, you're going to go hungry. If you don't get these buckets of water, your family is going to be dehydrated. If you don't do these certain things. So everyone has an employment. Everyone is employed by doing something. And a lot of the times we don't have that anymore. We're younger. I remember being employed when I was younger, even if it was the older dude helping out fix the car. And he was like, hey, come here, young buck, come get underneath this car, help me do this, help me do that. And we don't really do that anymore, where we're grabbing somebody and putting them under the wing. So go ahead.
No, keep on going. I just got a point. Keep on going. I'm listening. So
now what I did was with my company, Verbal Kung Fu, one of the things I do is I speak about resilience. I speak about adapting because I had a lot of adapting to do, leaving the military and transitioning into the civilian life. And I decided, you know what, this is what it is. I can help enroll veterans into education programs. I've been enrolled.
That's huge.
I've been enrolled in an educational program since 1997 was the first time I enrolled in college. I got picked up from FSU to run the ball. I did some awesome stuff to lose my scholarship. So I know everything you shouldn't do. But I got picked up at Utah. But ever since then, once I joined the military, I never had a chance to stay focused and finish one thing. And you think about it, the graduation, the amount of veterans that have a degree that's not officers, that didn't come in with their officer degree, it's 43% actually graduate with a bachelor's degree. And that's just within 6 or 8 years. 43%. Now you compare that, which is like a scholarship, compare that to the NCAA scholarships, where 89, or better yet, 82, specifically 82% of the people with scholarships graduate with a degree. Now, in the military, we have the same benefits. It's just like a scholarship, but we just don't graduate. Why is that? Is it because we're dumber? You know, it's not. We had the discipline. We wake up at 4. We understand dealing with life and everything else. We understand how to crunch time, but there's a huge block in there to where we're not just doing the right thing. So actually, I started this weekend. We had a retreat, and it's just really about getting veterans together, getting people together, and just really saying, hey, listen, there are a lot of benefits in education. Because you talk about just having that degree, 22 veterans commit suicide daily. Wow. They don't have work. You are twice as much likely to be homeless in America than any other person when you are a veteran between the ages of 18 to 30. Right now, America has 150,000 homeless veterans. So it is now became my purpose that I will help employ them. And it's not like getting them a job, but getting them enrolled into college. Just staying enrolled, finding them a mentor or a coach that's going to say, hey, listen, you could do this. So there it is.
Wow. You know what? See Will smiling. He likes that one. He likes that's outstanding. And that's what I'm talking about. Just do you have my email address? Because I want you to email me, and I want to put that on my spreadsheet.
No, let me get it, sir. Or you can send it.
It's I'll DR period VIBE at the DRVIBESHOW.com. Because I try to type it in here in the chat, and for some reason it doesn't come through.
Okay.
So that's DR period VIBE DRVIBESHOW.com. Someone has a baby that's not been fed.
Yeah, that's me, man. So I'm gonna go tend to that while y'all do that. Salute +1. You don't know your lodge. Big up, C Will. I'll be listening on the side, man.
All right.
Excellent.
All right.
Thanks. Huge. Thank you so much.
Yeah, that was awesome. That was. I'm very excited for that. He drilled down. He identified a problem, right? And he was he went through a very logical path, right? You know, he kind of started broad, which I feel like this conversation is kind of broad, and then he honed in on a problem, right? You know, why veterans aren't going to school, you know, and we have scholarships basically, because I know, you know, what he was saying is basically, if you go to the military, there's something called a GI Bill, and you can go to school for, I don't know, is it up to 10 or 15? I don't know exactly, Garcia, but I know you can school for free for a long time, right? As far as the statute of limitation on that is. Anyway, so he was like, why aren't people going to school? They got this opportunity. I think he's starting to drill down into it. 8 years, you got 8 years to go to school for free. So, and it has a whole lot of value. And that's one of the things when he was talking, I was thinking is they don't have a lot of internal value, right? And of course, education increases that. But I had to piggyback a little bit doing the push-up challenge. So there's a push-up challenge for the veterans that is about that specific point that 22 veterans commit suicide every day. So it's, you know, doing 22 push-ups every day for 22 days, you know, share it on your Facebook, whatever. And so it's kind of like a chain that we're doing. And so I've been doing that every day. I'm on day 5 today. But anyway, I still got a while to go, right? But it's my little bit, you know. But the thing is, I'm very proud of him, and you know, I want to help as much as I can, Garcia. So I'll probably be reaching out to you as well, because you got a solid idea. And
yeah, that's like, again, and your what you're doing doesn't have to be huge. Like, every little bit counts. It's the little things that make or break the vine. I just want to shout out to Sandra, Reverend, thank you so much for stopping by. If anyone would like to take a seat, that is huge. That was really good. What Claude and Junior have done is set a great foundation. And I don't care if they're the only two that want to put something out there. It's two more than was before this conversation started. And it all starts with one. And what the Junior and what Claude are doing, huge stuff. Huge stuff. I might as well put my I guess fire out there too. Actually, there's a number of things that I've been doing, but in the last hour, someone has asked me to start doing a group of conversations with a whole new set of people in the community. They want me to start sharing what I do with a whole new community of people. And this person is basically, and I'm not lying, they said they've been tracking me down for a year and a half. So I said, you know what? Let's talk about it. Let's keep on doing it. I do a multitude of things. I do this platform. I do my best to enhance other people's platforms. I take ideas. Junior, you're a joker. I receive that. Joking aside, I receive that. But I just see that sometimes some of us think it needs to be a huge thing, and all it takes is just a little thing. Really and truly, all it takes is a little thing. All of us have a gift that we can use positively. Mm-hmm. I believe that. If someone doesn't think so, I'll go argue that with you. We all have a positive gift to give. Whether even doing a blab about important topics, that's a gift. Doing a Facebook post, it doesn't take much. Whatever you're comfortable with that can be beneficial to others, do it.
Definitely. That's a thought I had when Garcia was talking as well, as far as finding meaning. Well, not just when Garcia was talking. I'm thinking about this every day now that I'm doing these push-ups and everything. So I try to offer some encouragement when I do it, like a minute, 20 seconds or something at least. But the thought came is that we, how can I say this? You gotta respect the hustle, right? And so I'll just give you the thought the way it came to me. Is respect the hustle, right? So when you're in the military, you have a lot of respect for the hustle of the United States, right? Meaning the focus, the work ethic. It's applied to you and on you, right? And so you have an objective, you have missions, right? And it's focused, and we are very effective at gaining those objectives, right? And so now you're out of the military, and now it's kind of like, what's the objective, right? Like, what is the focus? And this is just some thoughts for you, Garcia. It's like, okay, now what is your hustle? What is your focus? And it can be something. There's a book called Success Through a Positive Mental Attitude with Paul Hill that talks about the magnificent obsession. And sometimes it's helping them find something to focus on, right? It's not just go to school just to go to school. Find something that you're passionate about. And I'm thinking, like I said, I have all kind of thoughts, Garcia, behind your mission. But it's, maybe find something that they can do, because a lot of times they don't necessarily need the money, right? Or they don't necessarily need to go to school. But if you can help them find something that pushes them, beyond themselves, because that's really what the military, it's kind of like a transference of those skills and those habits, right? Let's put it into an actual mission, whether it's name the book. Okay, I'll put it in there a second. Whether it's helping protect kids. I saw this awesome program. I'm gonna shut up in just a second. But I saw this awesome program where veterans were out in the streets on kids' paths to school, just looking out for them, make sure no one bullied them, make sure no one messed with them, and we can even apply this to making sure the cops don't mess with them, right? But they were just standing outside and then say, hi, have a good day at school, keep up the good work, a little encouraging word. And it was so heartwarming. I saw it on Facebook, and that gave them meaning, right? The veterans loved it, the kids loved it, and it gave them a lot of meaning. So, you can apply that same kind of thinking when you're talking about going to school, because regardless if you're a veteran or not, you need some internal motivation to keep going through those 2 years, 4 years, or 8 years of education and work. So, all right, let's see.
Okay.
It's called
Michael D. Haynes. Long time no see. How you doing?
I'm absolutely phenomenal. Getting better every day.
Well, that's some things don't change, and I like that doesn't change.
Hey, I haven't been around, and I'm sorry about that.
That's okay.
My webpage is not up at the moment, and that's why I haven't been around. But things are starting to change, and
As long as they're changing for the better.
they are.
Excellent.
They definitely are. I love the topic.
Thank you.
The topic really hit home with me. A couple weeks ago, I delivered a talk to a pub in Kelowna.
Okay.
And I love pubs. What the hell? I love going over the beer. So, last Wednesday, I went in to get a letter of reference and find out if the manager could give me any pointers as to where I could get more touch. And apparently my top was so moving to the staff that I actually had the girls crying. So that's how I make my community better.
And you know what, Michael, I appreciate that, because you're on Blab a lot. I know recently you haven't been on, but as much as you used to be or in the past, and I'm speaking, you're going to be back on a lot. Every time you come on, you make the community you represent better. And you know what's beautiful about that? You love doing it naturally. It's just in your heart.
I absolutely do. And it's incredible the amount of people able to reach. And I absolutely love the people.
Well, I know that I can't speak for everyone, but I think most people love you right back, brother.
It's incredible. And
They love you right back.
do you know the interesting thing about the talk I gave? The very next day, there was a table for one that had a challenge person. I use the word challenge rather than disabled because I feel that challenge is a more representative term than disabled. Basically, there was a table that was being bullied, and the staff knew exactly what to do because of my visit the previous day. Now that made me feel really good.
Excellent.
And that individual was actually helped out because of the words that I spoke the previous day.
Excellent. Well, Mr. Michael, I got some other people that want to come on.
Hey, I want to get up. I want to go eat.
So you and I got to catch up a little bit, but thank you for offering what you're doing and you're continuing to do to make your community better.
Thank you very much. You are
God.
absolutely incredible.
I just get a little bit better each day. I don't know about the incredible bit, but I get a little better each day. I'm going to let you go, and we will chat soon. God bless.
Have a phenomenal day, my friend. And
right back at you. Wow, guys, when you see someone like that doing what all he does, that stretches you in a good way.
Exactly.
That stretches you in a good way. And like, he's such a giver.
Mm-hmm.
You know, he's such a giver. And I put it out there. If he can do it, he can do something all of us can.
Yep. What's your excuse? You know?
Exactly. Like, he kicks it out of there. Just want to welcome Durham Skywriter. If you want to jump in and chat, actually, her and I have to have an offline chat about some things, but I'd love her to jump in and say, you know, what are you doing right now to make your community better, or how can you help your community be better? So welcome the wonderful Durham Skywriter to the conversation.
How are you today? How's everybody?
I am blessed, highly favored, a magnet for miracles, and a solution for someone's problem. How are you doing?
Doing just fine. Well, actually, I'm in kind of a crisis mode. I'm trying to hold it together. Just ran out of sweet tea, and yeah, you know, I live in the South.
It's not funny. You hear me like, what's wrong? I'm thinking, what's wrong? Sweet tea. Oh my goodness.
So I can't stay long because, you know, no household lasts, you know, without sweet tea. So I can only stay for a few minutes. See, you hear sirens?
They out there with the tea bags. They got the tea bags.
Yeah.
And they're ready to help.
Tea patrol. That's the tea patrol.
So let me ask, Durham Skywriter, either how are you helping your community be better, or what are you planning to do to help your community better, especially in these challenging times?
Well, what I've always tried to do since joining the media is promote good things happening in the community. And it astonishes me how many good people and good organizations go completely unrecognized. Very often, local nonprofits are run by frazzled people working on low budgets with no, you know, while the celebrities and the athletes get all the accolades, the people doing the real work are running around being uncompensated. And what I try to do in my very small way is to promote them by sharing their information in my online newspaper, the Durham Skywriter, which is in North Carolina. And I also try to find people to interview for TV Skywriter. And I do videos, and I just try to do whatever I can to promote, you know, what's good in the community and beyond.
Very nice. Very nice. Good stuff.
Yes, I think that's a very worthy cause. It's one of mine as well, to promote the positive things that are going on, especially in our community. So I think that's awesome. I actually got a chance to peek at your Fire Talk channel, so I'll be going back there to listen to some talks.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you. You know, what I do every day is actually something that absolutely everybody can do. Well, not everybody, then that would be weird. But so many people can do that. And that is, I take 5 minutes out of the day in the morning and I list what's happening, you know, the events in Durham, North Carolina. I mean, I think if local businesses did, you don't have to be a journalist to do that. But I think anybody can do that, because who doesn't want to get mentioned in the media, right? So I do it on Fire Talk, then I post it on Facebook, and I tag everybody that I mention, so they know there's somebody out there trying to promote them, you know?
Right.
So I think anybody can do that. You don't have to be a journalist to promote your community. I think even if you're an entrepreneur and you're just in one field, be it printing or pest control or whatever, nobody's stopping you from being on the air for 5 minutes telling people what's happening, because that's only going to reflect on you and your community in a positive way. So I suggest a lot of people should try that. Oh, I'll type in my. I don't have air conditioning, so pardon me. It's like 90-something degrees.
Wow.
But Dr. Vibe, she brought up something that is very, very vital. And I think it's something that, like she said, that not everybody in the media does. I mean, and this is something that she does, and I think it's something that you do as well, using these type of platforms to show the positive things that are going on in our communities. And that's something that you don't see a lot of, and especially with mainstream media. Those things, they don't cover these things and they don't talk about these things because it's not glitzy, it's not glamorous, it's not flashy. This is things that are affecting positive change. So I think if she hit the nail right on the head. Even if we took 5 minutes a day, can you imagine if everybody who was on Facebook took just 5 minutes a day and posted something positive? Because I'm adamant about that too, and I'm glad she talked about that, because I try to be. You try to balance all of the negative things that we see and post and all that with things that are positive, that uplift people, that will encourage people. I don't care if it's music. I don't care if it's a saying, just something that will enlighten somebody or educate somebody on something that they might not have known had you not posted it. Because I'm adamant about that, because I know we do the February as Black History Month, but this year I've made a concerted effort, and everything that any kind of news feeds that I get that have to do with our Black history, things that teach us something, and even things that I'm learning, I try and post it, and I put Black History 365, because our history is not just in the month of February, it's every single day. So we have to make a concerted effort to educate ourselves and others on the things that are going on. And when we do that and we post positive things, it gives that balance to all of the negative stuff that we hear all the time, and that we see all the time. So Durham Skywriter, I applaud you for what you do. I think that is awesome what you're doing, and I hope that people will start to, others that are in the media will start to do the same thing as well.
I hope so too, because I actually got started in Chicago, outside of Chicago. Is there an echo?
I don't know who that's
Is that
from.
me? It seems to be
No.
okay now.
Yeah,
Okay.
you're good now.
Okay.
So repeat what you just said.
I started my career on the south side of Chicago, is where I'm from. And I actually started out in print. And it's really amazing how it was so easy for me to go into the projects, or what they call low income housing, whatever, and come out with positive stories. They're everywhere. People talk about, I always correct people when they say bad neighborhood. I'm like, there's no such thing as a bad neighborhood. If these neighborhoods were as bad as people say, nobody would ever be able to enter into them. And it's simply not true. You can go in the projects and walk around. What do you think is going to happen? I'm just saying. But it's so easy to come up with positive stories. I don't care what neighborhood you go to. You go to the absolute poorest of the poor neighborhoods and still come out with positive stories. Easy. There's nothing to it. But you have to be looking for them, and you have to stop getting your head turned by all of the acts of violence and whatnot. People think that that's what the people demand. That's not what we're demanding. We're sick of it, actually.
And to follow that up, it's not mainly, but in communities that have housing, affordable housing, or whatever, you're always going to find community centers. So that's a good place you can go. And they have boards. They have community boards. And there's always stuff happening. I haven't been into a community center yet that doesn't have stuff happening, or at least notifications. So that's a good source. So I'm thinking, okay, where do you go? You know, how do you find out this stuff if you don't know? I think that's one good source is community centers. Laundromats. You know, laundromats, I've seen a lot of good things on laundromats that churches are posting, or other people that are city projects or whatever that they're posting. Where else do you think is a good place to look for those stories?
Absolutely anywhere. I mean, I can go to a store and see some art on the wall and say, "Hey, who drew that?" And they'll say, "Oh, my grandson drew it." Okay, let me put that in the Skywriter. Let me interview him. You know what I'm saying? It's so easy. I mean, everywhere you just have to be looking for this stuff.
Yep.
You know, you can. There was a kid who he had mental retardation, and he saved someone's life who was about to get hit by a car, and his mom told me. And I thought about it and thought about how was I going to write this story, and I decided to leave out the fact that he had mental retardation, because I think the average journalist would have said, "Retarded boy saves lives," you know, as if they're not able to. So I figured, you know, this is probably going to be the only time when he's going to be acknowledged as just a regular kid. So I totally left that out. And I said, you know, Joe Blow or whatever saved the life of so-and-so by pushing her out of the, you know.
Yeah.
Didn't mention it because to me that wasn't part of the story. But his mom mentioned it because I think I can't say why she did. She's his mom. But I just felt it was just as important to leave that out.
Right.
As to print it. Because why should we see him as a person with mental retardation? We should see him as a hero.
I just want to jump in for a second. I am getting some echoes from somebody. Maybe
okay, let me put on
or somebody.
Let's see. I'm putting on my earbuds.
Okay.
Is that better?
Yeah, it's gone now.
Oh, was it
no,
me?
No, it's still there. So I don't think it's you, Durham. Maybe Leroy.
Leroy.
Okay. So I just want to shout out some people who are in the room. Shout out to Matthew. Also, Kintayef. Thank you. At DMVBD. Long time no see. Elizabeth Hall at Smart Office Help. Make sure you catch out her shows on Connecting and Growing Online. And also from over the ocean, Leon Henry. So, what we're doing here, for those who have just jumped on, we're finding out how are you going to make your community better. It doesn't have to be a big thing. It can be a small thing. We've had various different suggestions. I've thrown out there too that I will, if people are comfortable, I'll put down their suggestions on a spreadsheet and share it out with everybody if they're willing to do that. I've created very good, excellent.
The Black Business Directory.
That's a vent. And again, this is not, and again, it doesn't have to be color centric. To start off the conversation with Claude Diamond, who's not of color, and he said how much he is doing with the Lions Club that he's part of to help his community.
Oh yeah, they help with vision and glasses and whatnot.
Yeah, so he's doing all that sort of stuff. So if anyone wants to jump in and offer a way that they are right now or going to be helping their community, definitely will appreciate that. Or you can type it in on the side. So
I wonder if DMV knows anything about the Main Streets program in Ward 8 of Washington, D.C. They help the local businesses, usually, in that area, I suppose most of them would be Black. And they
talking right there, the project startup initiative. DMV, do you want to come on and share about that? I see you're typing, but if you want to come on and share, no problem.
Want me to jump out?
Well, I just want to see if she wants to jump in. If she wants to jump in, certainly we'll certainly make room for it. Welcome back, Sam, to the conversation. for those now, as I said, I've sort of put down suggestions that people have put down, and I'll put it on a spreadsheet, or you can email me. Okay, so what I'm gonna do, Leroy, I'm gonna have you jump. I'm gonna jump you out.
Okay.
You've been on for a bit, if that's fair
Cool.
with you, and I'll have DMV. So be in touch. Okay, so DMV, BBD, come on in. Would love you to come in and share. And I'm loving, for pardon the pun, the vibe of the conversation tonight. So I haven't dropped that before in a conversation. I thought I'd drop it in now. So
Did you know that vibe is also a verb?
yes, it is.
We be vibing.
So I got dual purpose.
Yes, I thought about the Dr. Vibes conversations always have positive vibes. You know, so that's one of the reasons I love participating.
We're waiting for DMV BBD to jump in. Hey Herbie, how you doing? Thanks for stopping by, and thanks for periodically sharing the links out via Twitter. I appreciate it and not taken for granted. Also, welcome. Well, there we go. Welcome, Cole. Thank you so much for stopping by. Kanisha, thank you for stopping in. I don't think you've come into one of our conversations before. There we go. Oh, yes. Now I know who that is. How are you?
I'm great. How are you?
I am blessed, highly favored, a magnet for miracles, and a solution for someone's problem. What is up?
Nothing much. Out here working, grinding hard.
There you go. What? You sound like you're doing some I know that the first time you came on one of the conversations, you were talking about a directory, and it seems that you've elevated your game since then. Do share.
Yes. So we have the DMV Black Business Directory, who just launched the Project Startup Initiative. And we have our first event actually coming up August 6th. And the Project Startup Initiative is a support group for those who are interested in starting businesses, startups, and small businesses. And the reason why I launched this Project Startup Initiative is because a lot of business owners don't have support when they're going through tough times in their business. They tend to want to throw in the towel, give up. And so I created the support group to be kind of a Q&A for business owners to come together and ask questions and kind of bounce ideas off of one another so that they can overcome the hurdles that they are facing within their business and sustain and keep their doors open past that 5 or 10 year mark.
Very nice. I like that.
Yeah, I think it's a good idea. I have a friend that runs masterminds, and it basically sounds the same idea. She has businesses. They come and they talk about whatever their issues are, whatever they're facing, and each of the business people they give ideas that they could possibly use to move forward. And everybody, I mean, they actually pay her a pretty penny to participate because it has results. So I think that's something that, especially for startups or people just getting in, that they can definitely grow from. I think that's an awesome idea. And I also think what you're doing is pretty cool. So I looked at your website while you were coming in.
Thank you.
The whole directory in the first place. I think that's a powerful thing. I was actually looking for something like that. I saw a post on somewhere about, it was businesses, in I think it was Florida, about we need a broader one, or if we had a network of them, so wherever you're at, you can actually find those in your community. So I think that's pretty cool.
Yeah, and we actually offer business starter packages to those who are interested in starting businesses and aren't quite sure where they're supposed to start at. We do offer business starter packages for them to include their business cards, websites, their business entity established. They get professional headshots. They get counseling. I offer bookkeeping services to them because my profession is in bookkeeping and accounting. And so I provide 3 months worth of bookkeeping services, which is included in the package. Nice. We also, because that's another problem that a lot of businesses face, is the commingling of funds, which I try to speak to a lot of business owners about, because commingling of funds doesn't allow you the opportunity to get a full picture of how your company is doing, if it's growing, if it's stagnant, if you're losing clients, whatever the case may be. Business owners need to see that visual so that they know the next steps that they need to take in order to grow their business.
A few things onto that, and again, going back to last Monday's conversation and a number of conversations I've had about the current situation, but it's been a long-term situation, really and truly. so many people are passionate about helping the economics move forward. So that's a great service that you're offering. Also, another thing, there's a gentleman that wants to get your contact information.
Okay.
I hope you respond to that. Also, Leon at Team Event 2015 is saying he is willing to give 30 minutes of his time to 5 people this week to ask any question about marketing or blab.
Okay.
So I would take advantage of that, people, if you have, because Leon is very good at what he does. He has evaluated experience and he has positive results. So if you want to take advantage of that, if you don't take advantage of it, your wood is wet. I'm going to leave it like that, right? So take advantage of that. That is good stuff. This is the sort of stuff that I'm looking forward and I want to do, because when I see that Sewell says, I'm inspired, I'm impressed what you're doing. When a Leon says, I'm willing to do this, and I don't care, just do it once. You don't have to do it all the time, but at least do it once. Mm-hmm. And I don't want people leaving here to say, well, I'm not going to do nothing, or I don't know what I can do. If you don't know what you can do, type it in on the side. I bet you in 5 minutes or less, I can find something that you can do, or the people on here can find something that you can do. And it don't have to be big. It's in your strength zone, mm-hmm. something that you can do.
Yeah, and, like I was going to say, like what Kamisha is doing with the giving her accounting skills, right? Because that's something that she's already good at, right? So a lot of times we already are good at something. We don't necessarily have to, reinvent the wheel. We can just do something that we're good at, because you get paid for your job because it brings value, right? Or you've learned, even if you don't get paid, you're volunteering, you're doing something because people actually appreciate the value that it brings. So that whatever you're doing, you can just contribute that. And like you said, it can be like Leon's doing, let me just go give an hour to this and find a place to do it, or find some people who can actually use it and just give it to them, and like what was Lucas said, I think I'm remembering his name. But you not only gain, you feel good about yourself, but you can gain some lifelong friends. You can gain some really good contacts. So like what Kanisha is doing, you help these businesses be successful, and just imagine the difference that makes, right? I mean, you're helping that person become economically independent. You're helping that family eventually become economically independent, and their children to understand the economic independence and carry it on. And so it's like the generational impact that you're actually having. If you help just maybe 5 out of 100 people be successful, it's still a huge impact,
and that's our main focus. Generational wealth is what I built this upon. I have 3 children of my own, and I was laid off of my job. And instead of going back to work, I decided to go full-fledged as an entrepreneur. And I wanted to show my children, I want to be able to leave my children a company. I actually have 2 companies. One is the bookkeeping side of things, and then I have the DMV Black Business Directory. But I can't leave my kids a job. My kids won't be able to go to that job and say, my mom had this position, now I want it so I can continue to pay the bills or, pay whatever necessities I need to take care of. So in launching the DMV Black Business Directory and the Project Startup Initiative, I want to get people to transform their thought process. It's fine to have a job, yes, but when you speak of generational wealth, you have to speak of your generations to come and what you're leaving them, because we won't always be here to guide them and to be able to provide for them. So we have to leave them something, a legacy that they can take over and continue to push through generation.
Well, it's interesting you say that. One of the regulars on my Sunday live podcast called Do You Know What Time It Is says something very interesting. Do you want to die with a will or with a bill?
Very true.
So again, that is a great. Many people should. Yes, smart hops help. Thank you. Look at this. I like that. Plus one is saying Kamisha chose to be the pioneer hashtag.
Thank you.
That's huge. That is fantastic. And this is what I want all of us to do. How, like, when we're out having a conversation, if I vibe with someone, I'm going to use it again. if I have a positive vibe with someone I haven't met, I say to them, how can I help you? And I tell them, it doesn't have to be today. It could be a year down the line. How can I help you?
And it's all about helping. I mean, a lot of people want to push their product on you, push their service, but if you're pushing a product or service and you're not connecting with that individual, then you're potentially not building a long-lasting business relationship. And my main focus is building long-lasting business relationships, because I may not be the person who can help you. However, I may know of other people who can help you, and therefore offer up those contacts for you to be able to reach out and get the help that you need.
Just want to welcome Danny. Good to see you as always. Always good to see you out there, Danny. And yeah, folks, it's not a hard thing. It really is not a hard thing at all. Like, how can I help you? Simple. How can I help you? You know, and if you can't help them directly, I'm sure you know someone that can help them. Really and truly, it's really an important thing, especially now, because like I mentioned at the beginning of our conversation, there's a tenseness in the world right now.
Mm-hmm. And then with the Project Startup Initiative, we actually have a twofold mission. We're also reaching out to startups, small businesses, and those interested in starting a business. But then we also have the other side of things, where we're reaching out to high school students and teaching them about basic financial literacy. And in us teaching them about basic financial literacy, we're then transforming them into the business side of things, because we want them to take that special talent or that creative mindset that they have and actually start a business, so that by the time they graduate high school, they're not looking for a job per se. They're already making money with the business that they have.
There you go.
Wow, that's awesome. I love that. You're gonna have some kids paying their own college,
Exactly.
Yeah. So I think that's a great idea. And like you say, you're setting up a mindset that's going to be with them for life. Even if they do get a job, they will know how to manage. I do coaching. A lot of times I put business and career together, because it's still business. Even if you're working for somebody, you still have to have that business mind if you want to build any kind of wealth, right? Or it's just money in and money out. But if you're getting money in, you're thinking of yourself as a business, right? And establishing equity in yourself, and actually investing in yourself, and building wealth and building ownership, then you're going to be, established, and you'll be able to, like Dr. Vibe said, leave a will and not just a bill. So I think that's awesome. You're helping young people with that. I have a big heart for young people, so that lit me up a little bit when you said that. But yeah, I think that's powerful.
I may be throwing something out here that people may stomp on, but I just came into my heart. Is there the opportunity here for people who are watching this live or on replay to do what you do for one session for free?
The DMV Black Business Directory offers a basic free listing. My time goes into making sure that Black-owned businesses in DC, Maryland, and Virginia have a free platform that they can promote and advertise their business on.
Okay, I'm going to ask the question of the audience here. I'm going to repeat it again. Is there the opportunity in your heart? I don't want you to use your head here. I want to speak to your heart. Is there an opportunity for you to offer your gift once to 100, 1,000 people for free, just once?
Yep.
If you can do that, type a 7 in the room.
Did it just this weekend.
Thank you. Now, thank you. No, thanks all of you on that. And I know you've probably done it already, but I want you, if you've done it already, I want you to do it one more time.
It's part of my lifestyle.
Right. So, and I get correction, do it complimentary. Sorry, complimentary. My correction, complimentary.
So what's that distinction? Clarify that for me.
What?
What's the distinction between complimentary and free?
Okay, and I learned this from Brother Leon. So just Leon, if I don't get it correct, hit me on my bald head. When you say complimentary, it tells the audience that what you're sharing with them, it reinforces even more that what you're offering has value. You usually charge for it. Everybody, yes, free is abused.
Mm-hmm.
When you say it's complimentary, they'll think, oh, that's different. It's complimentary.
Okay, I got it.
That you got the thought process there. Leon, I hope I did you proud there. Leon taught me that thought process.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Okay. So what I've done is I basically cut and paste everyone who said they could do that complimentary thing. Don't be surprised if Dr. Vibe in a few days sends you a Twitter and said, have you done that complimentary thing yet? And I'm not doing it to be on your case. I'm doing it because you promised it to yourself.
Mm-hmm. And to me, I feel like that should be part of the service rendered, to offer a complimentary meeting up front so that the customer then sees, okay, this person knows what they're talking about. Now I'm willing to put my money where my mouth is and pay for the service.
Right. I'm not going to give this gentleman's name. He's one of my digital mentors. He gives everything out for free because he relies on corporate sponsorships to make his money.
That's cool.
That's how he's built his business model. And I respect him so much on that. And I'm not saying anyone has to be that way, but I thank all of you that put the 7s down, and I hope you don't get offended that periodically, maybe in the next week or so, I say, hey, did you do that complimentary thing that you promised yourself? I hope I don't get on anyone's back, but I like to do calls to action.
But see, that's part of my lifestyle. I won't even say business plan. Sometimes good business happens because of it, but that's not why I do things. I won't say for free. Complimentary. Is that a word? Complimentary, really?
Yes, it is.
Yes,
It's in the Leon dictionary.
Okay. For example, a few years ago, they renovated the old ballpark here in Durham. The ballpark that was in that baseball movie, Bull Durham. They renovated it, and I took pictures just for fun. I took pictures of everything, and they were good pictures. I sent them to the managers of the board, whatever you call it, of the ballpark, and I said, enjoy, and they totally enjoyed the pictures. The following year, when they decided that they needed to market the ballpark, and they said, we need to hire a photographer, and somebody said, hey, how about that nice lady that sent us those pictures last year? So I got the gig. I mean, it wouldn't have mattered to me if they hadn't hired me, but it was nice that they did, And also, a couple of weeks ago, there's a very, very struggling entrepreneur I know who helps military veterans train service dogs. And I made her a video just for fun. I know she's struggling. I'm struggling too, but I know she's struggling. She needs money so bad. And all I could do was make her a video. My hopes was that she would use that video to gain more attention and get some media going. So she had her first graduation class, so to speak. And because of her newfound notoriety, she was able to hire me to do the video for the graduation. So it's kind of cool. I mean, I was able to do something for free, just from my heart, and I benefited from it financially. Not that I had to. I mean, that wasn't part of the plan. But I think when you do things from your heart as part of your lifestyle with no strings attached, I think it always comes back. Maybe not from that exact same person, but it's you're gonna come out even eventually.
And I just said that I had a recent blab that I was on a couple of days ago, and I mentioned that to the audience that watched that blab. When you do things that you're passionate about, then the finances or the financial funnel comes through automatically. When you're doing things just for money, you never get anywhere. It's going to come to a halt eventually. But people have to make sure that they operate on passion. If it's something you're passionate about, then everything, the universe will align to make sure that you get everything that you need financially, as well as you need somebody to build a website, watch how the universe works. But you have to transform your mind, and you have to be passionate about it. And you can't give up. And a lot of people have to realize that patience is key, because things take time. It's just like having a baby.
I just want to add on there, getting back to the focus of helping the communities, is that one of my mentors, who I really respect, said, "Money funds the mission; it's not the mission."
There you go.
So really and truly, if you're, I was on a blab a few weeks ago with Ricardo McCrae and another lady, and a gentleman came on and said, "Hey, I want to make money from podcasting." I said, "Get off the blab."
Exactly.
Next.
Exactly.
I said, "Get off the blab." I basically, we ended up clicking him out because it was just, I said, "Get off the blab." If you're in, and just to piggyback, I'm into changing lives positively. As the big dreamer who came onto a blog my other day says, and this guy's a multimillionaire, but he said something that really blew my mind. He says, "I don't care how many people attend my funeral. I care how many people cry at my funeral."
That's cool.
So money funds the mission. It's not the mission. If you serve, you will get repaid many times over.
Yes.
And that's why one of the reasons I wanted to do this tonight, because the global community needs our help. I'm not just talking the people of color community. I'm saying the global community needs our help.
Needs good people.
Yeah. And like I say, as much as possible, I only deal with OQP, only quality people.
Oh.
Not OPP, OQP, only quality people. So that's why I'm doing this conversation tonight, because I know a little bit of all of you out there, and I know a lot. I know you all got some good in you, and I know you're already doing it. So I'm already sharing with the people that are already doing it. But I still put out that challenge for those who are already doing it. Can you do it one more time? Can you do it at least one more time?
Make it part of your day.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I wanted to add something to the conversation I've been holding back, but I wanted to think about what Dr. Vibe said first, is that money fuels the mission. It's not the mission. And it made me think of, like, in life, money is not the object, right? We've been kind of conditioned as a society, especially American society, right? Is that money is the object. It's like the object of all the pursuit. However, when, so I do life coaching, the first things I focus on is quality of life, right? Not the standard of living, but the quality of life. How much meaning, how much fulfillment are you actually getting from life? Because it's about increasing the quality, not the quantity, right? We always supersize me and all sorts of stuff. But did you actually enjoy the meal, right? Did you enjoy your time with your family? Are you enjoying your life, or are you just struggling to make money? And the reason I bring that up is because it kind of goes with what Kamisha is saying, is you get more ROI when you're doing something that is contributing to yourself and other people than if you're just doing it to make money, right? Because you get not only financial return, you get emotional and mental return as well, and spiritual, according to whatever you believe. And anything you do for somebody else, you do for yourself as well. Same thing as anything you do against anybody else, you do against yourself, because, and this is not just some weird altruistic philosophy, because you live with yourself, right? everything passes through your mind first and stays in your mind, in your memory, right? So when you do something good for someone else, you give yourself an uplift as well as give them an uplift. And then they give you an uplift through their appreciation and gratitude that they have to give it back to you. But it always comes back in the long run. It always cycles around. And one of the ways it does that is because it stays with you. It becomes part of your being. And so, people can feel that. People can pick up on that integrity and that character, just from saying hi to you. Like, Dr. Vibe is one of those people, he does a whole lot behind the scenes. He doesn't have to tell you. You can just tell from the way he talks and the way he holds himself. So it's that kind of value that you can bring into your life that is way beyond money, and that I actually call a return on investment if you're looking at the quality of your life. So that's my little 2 cents to encourage people to do this as well.
Well, and I'm gonna share something here. If you know someone and you don't know how you can help make their life better, either directly or indirectly, 3 quick questions should get you to this target. First question: ask the person or the community, what haven't you achieved that you want to achieve? Then the next question I would ask them is, what is preventing you, either individual or community, to achieve those things? And then the last question you ask is, which one of those things that you want to achieve, you want to get done in the next 3 months?
What do people usually say?
It's a wide variance of things. It's a wide variance. Some people want more money. Some people want more time. Some people want to change your career. Communities tell me we want more empowerment. Now, you may not be able to get it directly for them, but I'm hoping that you know someone in your network, if your net is working.
Exactly.
Let me say that again. If your net is working, to help be a solution to their problem. As many of you know, I always say, you're blessed and highly favored, you're a magnet for miracles, and I'm a solution for someone's problem. I may not be the direct solution, but I can help them get to the solution to their problem that they need to achieve. And I am confident that each one of you that is watching this live or on the replay have that ability in you.
It's really fun making those connections. I love putting people together. Someone who needs this, someone who can do that. I love to put them together. It's so much fun, especially if they're in the community.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Right. So next time you're out in the community, or even one-on-one, ask a person that. And it's interesting. A lot of times when you ask either a community that or a person that, they've never been asked those questions before.
Mm-hmm.
True.
And right then you are breaking down a wall, because you're honestly asking them, what do they want? And you're asking them, what do they want? Just be ready to be able to say, either I can help you or I can find someone that you can help with. And you don't do that with everybody. Again, you got to vibe with that person or that community. Right?
True.
So
Cool.
I just shared that thought process.
And those are very good questions. Those are like some of the basic questions coaches ask their clients in the beginning, right? To help them move through it. But I think everybody can use them. And this is the other side I want you guys to think about. So this is my contribution to the conversation right here.
Another one?
Well, I've kind of been tagging along with everybody else.
I'm just joking. I'm so joking.
I've been holding this one in the back for a while, and that is we want to make a difference in our community, right? And so, and we kind of talked around the idea of passion. So, this is kind of like a short exercise, but I think this is one of the things I'm going to do, actually, Dr. Vibe, as far as offer for free, is do this values exercise.
Complimentary
values elicitation session. It helps you get in touch with what's actually important to you. What are your values? So, for instance, freedom, truth, justice, financial security. There's so many different values that people have: family, love, community. etc. But when you get in touch with what your values are, the thing that's good about values is, unlike a traditional goal where it's like, okay, a car and I get it and now I'm happy and then it fades. Value is something you always want more of in your life, so it's a continual motivator. And so when you get clear about what a value is, and then start to model not only your own personal goals, but your contribution goals around those same values. So like what I do in my business and what I do for the community has the same kind of value structure. And the reason I'm bringing this up is because like what Kamisha does, or what Durham Skywriter does, she's in media. She's about promoting, positive, people in the community. Right, it's aligned, and she does media, so it's all completely aligned. Her business and how she contributes. Same thing with Kamisha with the economic empowerment, and what she does for a living, and what she does to give back is all in alignment, right? And so the reason I'm recommending this is when you get clear about what your values are, and then you can start to look out into the community and say, okay, how can I apply my values, to this community? The reason I'm saying this is because a lot of times we get all jazzed up, oh, the police shot somebody, or this happened, or that happened. And we go out and we're excited for a moment. However, it doesn't carry enough energy because it's only like a media hype. It's not really something that's in you that's driving you. So if you actually find something that's actually driving you, like Garcia with veterans, right? That's something that he's personally connected to. So it's not going to burn out, in a couple of days. Right. So find something that's actually connected to your value, and then create contribution goals around those values. Then you'll actually be able to contribute in a longer term. So to wrap this up, I'll give an example. When I got started in community organizing, it was to empower young people to actually live, to think critically and live independently, basically from the media, form their own positive self-identity. Right. And I got with a group that was focused on reducing community violence and making it safer and all that other good stuff. However, I stayed focused on what I was wanting to do, and that was helping kids. It actually took me a couple months till I was actually able to put a program together to help them. But it gave me the fuel to do that, right? And to continue to do it, like Durham was saying, for a little or no, for quite some time. So I just wanted to add that, connect your values, and then look for a way that you can actually bring those into fulfillment in the community.
Good stuff. I am probably going to wind down the conversation soon. I just want to shout out Tachiata. Thank you so much for stopping by. Ricardo McCrae, thank you so much for stopping by. If you want to join, I guess, the call to action that I put out there, I put out a challenge out there to everyone watching this live or on replay. If it's in your heart that whatever you're really good at, offer a complimentary session to somebody or a group. If either Tachi or Ricardo, if that's a good chat, if that's an okay thing for you to do, if you can put a 7 in the comments, what I'll do, if you don't mind, is that in the next few weeks, I'll just follow up with you and say, did you get a chance to do it? Thank you, Tashiata.
The one thing I want to add before the conversation is over, the question is, how are you going to help your community be better? And the one thing that I want to add is, in order for us as a whole to help our community be better, we must first deal with ourselves. If we can't deal with ourselves, if we can't transform self, if we can't transform how we think, if we can't be more positive instead of operating in negativity, then we cannot help our community be better at all. And so until we deal with self, and until we start making a conscious effort to operate in positivity and change the way we think, we're going to continue to evolve, or like I love to say, ride the same roller coaster ride over and over again.
Well, you know what? And I'll just piggyback on that. A quote I use is, where the mind goes, the person follows. So sometimes I do share with people that the reason why your life's a mess is because your mind's a mess.
Yes.
You know, so that's a very, very good point you bring out, Kamisha, that, you know, not to say you have to be perfect.
No, not at all.
Right.
Just make a conscious effort every day.
You know, repetition, you know, you will see it again. I like that. You will see that again, Dr. Vibe. I hope. Well, I guess I said one or two things of value. This is good.
Is Junior still in here? I wanted to. He's not. He is. Okay, so I wanted to suggest this, Junior. This was a powerful exercise. I actually learned it at a NeighborWorks conference, which is a government-funded organization that helps, you know, local nonprofits that work in the community. And then I brought it back to my community. It was very powerful, and it helped us move for the next couple of years. So basically, it's a visioning exercise. And so you get your group together, and you have them close their eyes, take a couple of deep breaths, tell them, hey, trust me, I got this from a community organizer that worked in Boston and had a lot of great results with it. So that's what you can tell them, right? And so close your eyes and, you know, imagine if the community, you know, in 3 years, right, and if everything worked out the way that you wanted it to, right, what would it look like? You know, what would be happening? You know, and have them describe it, and one by one go around the table, especially if it's small enough, like it's 10 or 15 people or whatever, which is usually the size of an effective group that actually does the work. But if it's that's a good size if you're going to do this exercise. And while they were doing it, I actually wrote down everybody's visions, and it's different, you know, but they were kind of complementary. You know, like one lady said she saw flowers in the street, another one said she saw kids playing and talking to each other, and different things like that. And then when they were finished, I basically told their vision back to them, kind of put it all together. You know, I synthesized it into one complete vision, and that one exercise carried us forward and through so much. And it's the same kind of process I go through on an individual basis, but I actually learned it doing this for a community. Having that vision, right? You know, there's a saying you may have heard, without a vision, the people perish, right? And so when you have a vision that people can actually rally around and move towards, it gives them a whole lot of power. So that's just a suggestion I had, since you are having these meetings, you know, or anybody else who has a meeting, is to help people establish that vision that they can connect to.
Okay, I just got your message, Durham Skywriter. Yeah, it seems that Eric wants to ask a question if you're cool with stepping out.
Sure.
And Durham, we still have to talk about fire talk, so we need to touch on that. But thank you again.
And Kamisha, I wanted to talk to you a little bit about DC. I have a couple of questions.
Okay.
So yeah.
So and this
Do
is
you have
another.
my email?
Go ahead.
Did you put it in the?
I believe it's over in the comments section.
Okay, I'll find it.
I'll post it in the.
Or maybe in the after show. I'll just pop back on and ask you.
Okay.
Oh, you're already calling for an after show. Okay, no
problem. Of course
problem.
you're gonna have an after show.
Okay, I'll have it.
She's the
I
boss.
was gonna say short, but when I say short, there's a whole other story. All right, no problem, Durham. Thank you so much for making the conversation better. We're gonna let Eric in for a few moments. Hey, Eric, it's your time. We'll shut it down in a few moments, and we'll do an after show. Okay.
Everything you say is wonderful. It's been, when I've been watching, it's been wonderful.
Thank you, Eric.
And it's not things, it's things that you're mentioning that are inclusive of everybody. It's not a specific group only. It's the positive message that anybody can get value from. And I was wondering if there's a way of more people using the people that are following them and inviting more people into this message, because I think that's the way to invite more people to maybe change their mindset or adjust their mindset a little bit and maybe work together and do something a little bit more, do something where more people can contribute.
Mm-hmm. I've got an idea. You sparked, and I didn't want this to become a monster in a good way, but you're stretching me, so I'm gonna do something. I will do something. Well, other people, someone's gonna probably steal this idea, but I'm just gonna put that. What do you think about an idea of me creating a Facebook page called "How are you going to make your community better"?
You know, I think that's great, but I think the interaction and hearing you speak and hearing Will and hearing Kamisha and everybody else, I think is going to invite more participation. So if there's a way of getting our more people to get involved, maybe just notifying when you do your blab tomorrow.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's something that could be really simple.
What I'll do is,
were you going to continue this on Mondays, Dr. Vibe? Because I know that he kind of got inspired from our last conversation to follow it up this Monday.
Okay,
so.
Well, here we go, people. If you feel should be a continuing, ongoing conversation on Monday evenings, give me a 7, and I'll schedule the next one.
Yeah, I might actually take some time and I'm gonna dig in my crates, guys, and bring out some of my community organizers that have tons of documents and just stuff that I can actually bring to actually help you move from idea to actual programs and results. Because I'm thinking about Garcia, I'm thinking about Junior, I'm thinking about Kamisha, who's already doing it and being very effective. But there is a process, right? And I started with the vision. But then you got to say, okay, what am I going to do? What do I want to do? Because the thing is, with us as individuals, we can do so much, and we've been talking about that. The little things that you can do, the Facebook,
manageable things. Like at the end of the day, Will, if you're gonna talk the talk, you got to walk the walk. And I'm not gonna spend time like following up on people. Really, the small group here, yeah. But if this gets as big as it can become, at the end of the day, you're going to have to, like Michael Jackson said, you got to be the man or woman in the mirror.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Right?
Yeah.
Right? So, and Dr. Prue has a great idea there. Like if we do it again next week and everyone notifies each other about it.
So I think he's talking about like even the people in the chat. See, I'm just learning this today. I think someone else mentioned it. I think they can notify their own followers.
Yes, I did that when I sat down. I sure did.
Oh, hold on a second. Yeah, Leon will give me. You cannot. So Leon is the my guru. We'll do that. Leon and I will huddle up in regards to.
That's who I heard it from. He said to hit /notify, but I guess only the people on camera or something can do it. Is that what it is? But you guys can get back to that. I don't want to spend your time on camera talking about that. But I think
I'm actually going to shut the conversation down, the recorded part. I'd like to say we can do a pre-watch. Kamisha, thank you so much.
Thanks for having me.
Pleasure's mine. You don't have to leave. I'm going to just end the recording. See, Will, thank you for being a direct proponent for this conversation. I'd like to thank everyone who stopped by either for a little bit or a long bit. I hope I'm speaking, it was an added positive value, got your mind thinking about, things to do. Doesn't matter how big or small, but little things that you can do to make it a better place during these tense times. So watch the Dr. Vibe show. If you're not already following me, I'll probably post up the next conversation for next Monday. And probably we'll have Dr. Charles Corprew co-hosting with me. We'll see. If not, I'll be doing it, as we say, Star Wars, which I've never watched too many of, Han Solo, again next week. But start thinking of other ways. And doesn't have to be directly you, but little things that people can do to make their community, or examples of people that you see are doing things that are making their community better. Is that a plan?
Sounds like a plan.
Yes, sir.
All right. As always, it is Dr. Vibe here, host and producer of the award-winning Dr. Vibe show. I'm also a certified empowerment coach, president and CEO of Express Your Vibe Coaching and Communications. You can catch me on Blab. You can catch me on my website, thedrvibeshow.com. Also, you can catch me at the Good Men Project, live and new posts every Tuesday at 2:30 p.m. And also, you can catch me at WJMS Radio on Saturday mornings at 9 a.m. And then the last Saturday of each month at 9 a.m. on WJMS Radio, I host a Black Men's Roundtable called Black Men Talking, and there are other things in between. So as always, as I say, most of the time, 99% of the time, you're blessed and highly favored. You're a magnet for miracles, and you're a solution for someone's problem. God bless, peace be all, keep the faith, and find a way of making your community better. They need it. Bye-bye.